Welcome back to beautiful Fiji. Now the final heat of round 2 of competition here on day 2 of the waiting period. It's a good afternoon from Cloudbreak, Tavarua, as we see Josh Kerr taking on Bede Durbidge. That's a great rivalry. Let's have a look at this. Bede Durbidge, wave 2, comes around the corner and over extends the turn. Another throwaway number for Bede. Runner-up to the world title in 2008.
Bede on his backhand and goes for broke on that first turn. I think that was just a throwaway turn there, that wave closing out. Bede not really wanting to get in amongst that inside section just yet.
Well, we're seeing conditions here of side shore wind as Bede will look for a little insider. Vertical click to get going. This wave's going to run a clean track on the reef now as Bede just kicks it for that second and climbs up. Tail drop. This is not a beach break, folks. It's really hard to hold that together, especially on that end section, Potts.
Well, it's dangerous, Gigs. It's and in the back of your mind, you know you're floating into a foot or two of water at the most, and then you've got to deal with this. You know, you've got to deal with getting back out over that shallow reef. I think by the end of this event, I think every single surfer's got a little bit of skin missing. Let's have a look at Bede's wave. First wave of substance. Beautiful turn to kick things off. Throwing a lot of spray into the sky. Look at that powerful surfing from Bede and goes for it. Back foot slips off, unfortunately, and goes down on maneuver number 3. But we talk about the return of Bede. We talk about the form that he's in. I think he's surfing just as good as when the injury occurred. And right there, wow, that was dangerous. That back foot slipping off. Easy to do the splits.
But Potts, you're getting a lot of the calls right. Have a look at this overview of Cloudbreak. Here's Bede Durbidge on the inside section. Really smashes that one away. Now tucks into the tube. Multiple sections. And that one will sandwich him shut. Now, Josh Kerr, opening ride. It's taken just on 10 minutes to find this. Josh Kerr tracks those lines. See him also on step-up equipment here. Beautiful tube stance, couple of adjustments. Oh, and just not making it through that final section. Wow. Covering a little bit more ground than Bede did. They both end up deposited on that same section at the bottom of the reef.
Both guys absolutely going for it. Bede Durbidge deciding to get on the back of the jet ski. Josh Kerr opting for the paddle back out. Let's have a look at Kersey's form on this one. Nice solid wave, as you said, waited 10 minutes for it. Dry hair still as he drops down. First turn, beautiful slashing maneuver. Now he comes off the bottom, narrows his stance. Look at that, that's just pumping through there. The ability to be able to draw a high line while you're holding onto that rail, a very technical thing to do, very difficult to do. And, well, beautiful stuff there from Kersey.
Well, Strata Wasilewski, you're in the water, you got the water angle on this. How was this thing?
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. You know, as he set it up and he came around the inside, you could see the wave cornering off the reef, and he just stuffed it up into the corner, grabbed the rail, and just started weaving. And he had that tight sense like you were talking about, and the wave literally lit up like a light bulb.
So incomplete tube rides for both our athletes now. Quick redraw here. Josh goes to the top, now flows it through. Inside line on this wave, and he'll get a real tight angle. And, both Bede and Josh falling on those end section maneuvers. So again, so much power unloading on the coral reef here.
Tell you what, that's better from Josh though. I love the intent, I love the conviction, just going for it, maneuver after maneuver, just hooking into those turns. That board is looking great under his feet.
That's exactly something that I talked about a little earlier, was as a goofy you just want to get barrel. And the natural footers have got that option of turns and tubes. How do you feel as a goofy and getting those turns in? Do you think they're scoring, or do you think the barrel's really where the main action is at?
Yeah, definitely the barrel is the main action, but I knew Jack was like kind of stuck between the peaks. Like he wanted to go outside and sit down here, and I knew he wanted to sit and wait for a good wave, because on the backhand you gotta wait for the slow ones, you know. And I was trying to get as many waves as I could, and I think I got 10 waves or something, and luckily I made it. You know, got a couple of sixes and into the next round.
This could be the start of some good momentum going your way.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I already feel blessed to be here, and one more heat at Cloudbreak is always a blast for sure, and so stoked to be in the next round, and can't wait to this swell show up.
Can't wait to see it, mate. You had such a good heat yesterday, only to get pipped right at the end, so good to see you get that win. Well done.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks everyone at home.
Of course, Ethan Ewing out of the same region. Let's have a look at the last one of Bede Durbidge here as he gets a 5.9 from the panel.
Yeah, I was about to say his best score so far. Beautiful. Just keeping that board moving. Clean body rotation at the top of that wave. I love the style from Bede Durbidge. He had to do a lot of hard work. He had big metal pins through his pelvis. He had to get, once he got those removed and the body readjusted, he is back firing on all cylinders.
If I had that heat again, I'd probably do the same thing. I was just trying to be patient and look for a wave that would kind of give me some scoring potential, and it didn't really, there wasn't really that much out there. I think we both only had, you know, sixes, so it was nothing.
Yeah, there were some good backhand hits, but it sort of all didn't come together on one wave, did it?
Yeah, that was it. I think that was just the tide. It was just so full. You'd get one section, but nothing was linking up, so, and that was my problem. I just couldn't get a wave that would link up.
Bede Durbidge, while we're at that interview, Bede Durbidge starting to feel it, starting to find some groove and rhythm and unloading some big turns. Watch this next turn from Bede as he draws off the bottom and hooks it under the lip. Great surfing there, carrying a lot of speed through his turns as well, which the judges are going to love. They're going to eat this up. Nice, clean, smooth, fast surfing from Bede Durbidge, and his best score so far. Gigs, let's have a look at the angle from up above and get a little bit of an idea of how vertical that board is. Next turn here, you should see some of the bottom deck. As he comes off the bottom, hooks it right there. Great surfing, good speed as well, just keeping that board moving rail to rail, finding some groove, just finding some rhythm. And Bede Durbidge, over these last few heats, there's this sort of thing happening where guys are catching a lot of waves and winning the heats.
Well, great heat strategy from Bede Durbidge. Let's see how Josh Kerr can counter as he gets riding here. Fifth wave of the heat. Top tight turn there as well. We saw him great in the pocket. Nice little fin release there. Whoops. Brings it back together. Josh Kerr now fourth turn coming up. And as I say that, he'll ditch. So that'll be a throwaway. It's not okay. It's the one hashtag that we'll be promoting here through the event. Of course, 100% of the sales of that collection going to the protection of the ocean. And we're on a beautifully clean part of the ocean here in Fiji as we follow the live action of the final heat of round two. Bede Durbidge lashes out a big turn. He's finding this wave with a bit of run to it, and he leads a very critical top section turn there. And he has just got this thing under control. Through to the inside, another hit. Yes, Bede will hold it together.
Wow.
And another one. So great dominance here in the back part of the heat for Bede Durbidge. Already a 6.83 and a 5.9 in his scoreline. He'll do a good job of keeping the pace and pressure against his opponent.
On that occasion, just lighting that wave up, showing a bunch of different turns. Nice solid set wave here from Bede. Connecting nicely with the first turn. I love that little just fading down. Now he starts to pump, setting that rail. Again, just hooking nicely. Critical stuff as well. Free falling drop. I love this right here. A little point of difference under the lip. Why not? And around the section. So Bede starting to feel it. Not finished yet. Throws the fins out the back. And again, just gouging into it. So 5.90. See you later. And a solid score. Just about to lock in for Bede Durbidge.
You know, these waves that that wave that he had picked, it was a fast-paced wave. So actually for him to try and catch up to it, you know, he was actually catching up to it and doing turns at the same time, which is almost impossible on the back. And you think about what he had to do to really climb, turn in the lip, and then fly out forward instead of coming down, and then actually coming around the inside and it all coming back together, slowing down, and him just going straight through the roof again, blowing the tails out literally right in front of us here on the corner where we're sitting. So for him to set pace like that, slow it down, and go straight up into it, and then finish off on the inside the way he did. Very technical, very hard to do on the backhand.
And of course, Bede Durbidge injured, so we'll see how this plays out. Bede's going to jump on the shoulder of this, second priority, so he's going to keep surfing. Nice leverage there. Just the one turn on offer. Quick in and out for Bede Durbidge. Well, let's have a look how this heat will wrap. Both Bede Durbidge and Josh Kerr finishing 13th in Rio de Janeiro, falling to Wilkinson and Owen Wright respectively. Let's have a look. This is a big wave, Potts. We're watching this thing run down the wall here. Goes up into the top corner. A little bit of wind chatter. Now it's bending around the reef and it's cleaning up. And that was a tight angle for Josh Kerr, and just a little too tight. And well, under 2 minutes to go. That may very well have been all she wrote. Of course, everybody using watercraft to access the lineup here at Cloudbreak. This is the last effort from Josh Kerr. Spins it tight, very small wave. We'll need a miracle as he just sweeps those rails. And that little chop hop is just a display of frustration for Josh Kerr. This man, Bede Durbidge, has done a good job of keeping the scores moving through the heat. Built momentum, finished with a 6.83 and a 6.27 to take the win here. Bede Durbidge will move into round 3 of competition, and it's a 25th place finish for Josh Kerr. Round 3 is coming up next. We'll be calling in Ronnie Blakey and Rosie Hodge for that.